I think it's right place, right time. And that's what we want Gyokeres to
He
do.
needs confidence to keep going. That's
Confidence
what
player.
every striker needs confidence.
But if we're starting Gyokeres, why don't we play Ben White? It's just a momentum thing. We win the Carabao Cup. Who's to say we don't win the FA Cup? Who's to say we don't win the Premier League?
You've got to win every single game. A trophy is a trophy at the end of the day.
I think he's the most underrated signing of the entire season.
You won, you take the one goal in the second leg, don't you? Good day, Gooners, and welcome back to another episode of the podcast. A 3-2 win over Chelsea today in the Carabao Cup. I'm joined with a new face. Lockie is my mate. Fabio Coentrão's cousin right here. No, only kidding. But Lockie, how are you?
I'm doing very well, Cal. Great results. 3-2. I would have preferred 3-0, so we could have that confidence in the second leg, but we'll take it 3-2 for sure.
I feel like when it's away from home, you just got to take any sort of lead. I mean, we've been unbeaten in the all of the season so far. So I mean, I'm confident in the second leg, but I feel like we let it slip at the end. We'll get on to that. But yeah, just the lineup getting into it, it was full strength. But I was surprised to see Kepa playing there, to be honest, because I thought it's strange to see a full strength lineup, but then the goalkeepers rotated. But I think that sends a message that Arteta's making Kepa our cup keeper. Besides Champions League, FA Cup, EFL Cup, Kepa is the man, I guess. So yeah, just going through the lineup, we had obviously Kepa in goal, Ben White at right back. We'll definitely talk about him. I thought he played superb. Saliba, Gabriel, Timber at left back. It was new for this season. We've seen that in previous seasons, but new for this season. Full strength midfield, Zubimendi, Rice, Odegaard, and then the front line of Saka, Trossard, and Gyokeres. So going into the game, I was super confident in seeing that lineup. I was calling for Jesus to start this game, but when you see Gyokeres on the score sheet at the end, in hindsight, it's easy to say that, but it's good that he got that goal, wasn't it? And yeah, he played well, didn't he?
I think it's right place, right time, and that's what we want Gyokeres to do. We don't want him. I don't want him dribbling the ball. I want him to be in the box scoring goals. And I think Ben White played a beautiful ball. And there was actually a interview where Ben White said, "I didn't even look. I just whipped it into the middle and knew Gyokeres would be on the end of it." So that's the kind of player he needs to be. And I feel as if the rest of the Arsenal squad at the moment doesn't understand that. But today, Ben White did.
I think
So
that's
yeah,
the
great
great
goal
thing.
by him.
Yeah, I think that's the great thing about having Ben White in this squad is that they actually did play together at Brighton in the under 21s. I don't know if you saw that in the interview, but I don't know if
I
that
did say
helps at
that.
all with the connection. But I think just I'm hoping that the rest of the team can see that and start to feed him more because I think that's the problem. Like, yeah, you can say he's not scoring the goals, but he's not getting the serves to score those goals. I feel like I've talked
That's all
about
it
this so
is.
many times with George, but he sometimes isn't always in the right positions to get the goals, and that can sometimes be a fault of his. But I think he also needs confidence as well, and I think this game will definitely do that for him. But just on Ben White, because that was actually the second goal that made it 2-0. But the first goal, it was a corner again. We always score from corners this season, isn't that right? But
It's a corner again.
last. But yeah, so we had a corner in the seventh minute. Declan Rice in front of the Chelsea fans, they were giving it the large, like they're giving it the big one. But Declan Rice whipped it in, beautiful, and then Ben White free header in. I thought it might have been offside. Gyökeres almost touched it. It would have been pretty scary if it was, but it wasn't in the end. Goal 1-0. Ben White with a goal and an assist. On paper, it wasn't an assist because Sanchez parried it away, which is unfortunate, but we know it's an assist. But yeah, that made it 1-0, and then obviously that second goal that you were just talking about there, Ben White to Gyokeres, and in that interview as well. I just want to ask you, I know Ben White had a good game, and I know that we've got so much depth in this squad, and Timber played at left back, but who do you prefer on that right hand side, right back, White or Timber?
Look, it's such a hard question.
Yeah.
I think Timber's had such a great season. So if I had to pick, I would put Yuri Timber there. Um, he's just got such a good work ethic, doesn't he? Yuri Timber. I think he works hard. Um, but it's hit and miss, right? Yuri Timber's great in the right if we're starting Jesus or Kai Havertz, which we'll get onto later, but he did come on, which was great to see. Um, but if we're starting Gyokeres, why don't we play Ben White? let's start Ben White on the right. He knows how to whip that ball in, put Saka in the box with Gyokeres and see how that plays out. So, um, with our current lineup, I would pick Ben White over Timber in the right back position.
No, look, that's a good point. Like I'm completely with you on that. I think Ben White. I think when we've seen Arsenal in the past attack at our best and look the most fluid, it's always been when Ben White is in the team. 22-23 season, Ben White, 23-24. Obviously, last season he had a lot of injury issues, and that's where Timber sort of took that position and made it his own. But that's the thing about that's just a luxury in this squad that we can just bring a player like Ben White in, someone that's played. I think they said he's only started 10 games this season out of what, like 30, 35 games, I think. So that's a lot of games I think about it. But yeah, only 10 games. He's only made a few sub appearances. He had a lot of injury issues. But I do agree with you. I think he unlocks our attack more. And I think that was a problem that we had a lot last year. And I think that's why Gyokeres will help with that as well. A lot of times last year, we'd put in those low balls in the box and no one is there. Havertz is not that kind of striker. He prefers back to goal. But Gyokeres is a bit of a fox in the box. Like he's going to be in and around there. I do think he can be a little bit better with his positioning in the box, but today he was perfect. And I think Ben White definitely unlocked that. So it was definitely good to see. But yeah, at that point it was 2-0. Sorry, that second goal was actually after halftime. The rest of the half was just a bit, not too much really happened to be honest. But
I
yeah, so
agree. I do believe Arsenal still had majority of control over this game. I thought they kept the ball well most of the
yeah,
game. Um, eh, Realistically, Chelsea's two goals, which we'll get onto, I think were very preventable, and I'll explain why later. But yeah, um, first rest of the first half, not much else really.
yeah, it was just control. Like it didn't look like Chelsea really posed any threat at all in that definitely in that first half. I agree with you. Yeah, we made silly mistakes that let them get their two goals. We'll definitely get onto that. But obviously Chelsea were missing a lot of players as well, which I think we kind of got a little bit lucky with. We saw last time we played them, it was a 1-1 draw, and they were definitely up for it. I think this time, because in our last game against Chelsea at Stamford Bridge, they brought the intensity straight away and we kind of fumbled under the pressure. But I think today we managed it really well and kind of minimized them. They were obviously missing Cole Palmer, Reece James, Caicedo suspended in this game, and then Gusto as well. They're starting right back. I mean, that's four players right there that all start for them in the best Chelsea team. So I
Big
do think,
players too.
yeah, exactly right. I do think Rice is better than Caicedo. We talked about that debate
Yeah,
before. Chelsea fans won't
that's not
like
even
that.
a debate.
Chelsea
Yeah,
fans won't
that's
like
not even
that.
a debate.
But yeah, four players right there. But you just have to play the team that's in front of you. And I think we did really well. But in saying that, second half, what happened? Garnacho, they get the ball off the right. He's at the back post free. It's silly, isn't it?
Why are we leaving him free? He's not a bad player. Why are we ignoring him at that back post? And as much as we've just praised Ben White, Ben
Yep.
White's left his man. He
Yep.
has. It's unfortunate, and it did happen twice, which is why I'm a little bit frustrated. First goal, sure. Second goal, stick a man on him. Do you know what I mean? He
Yep.
he clearly can finish. Garnacho's not a bad player. He should have won the Puskas last year, but we don't have to get into that. That's completely different. But yeah, why are we not marking him? It felt like our backline was a little bit asleep
Yep.
when Chelsea had the ball so close to our box, and yeah, disappointing for me.
I think it definitely has been a problem recently. Like if you look at our October games, we didn't concede a goal, not even a shot on target the whole month. And then obviously Gabriel got injured, comes back. So glad he's back, by the way, because I think if he was still missing, this could be a
Absolutely.
completely different game. But there have been a lot of times in recent moments, like my mind straight away goes to our other Carabao Cup game when Mark Way he scored in the 94th minute. It's just lack of concentration, which I think is just it's just disappointing, isn't it? Like, yeah, I think the first one can be somewhat excused because as a counter attack, we didn't have the numbers back. But the
Sure.
second goal, we'll get onto that after the Zubimendi one. But yeah, we'll get. Oh, we'll wait for that. A bit of positivity first. But yeah, I don't think Garnacho should have been free there. I do think that was a bit on Ben White that one, and I do think Kepa should have done a little bit better with the save. And that's why I think maybe if Array is playing there, probably does a bit better because Raya is the
Yeah.
best goalkeeper in Europe, best goalkeeper in the world at claiming crosses. We saw how much that let down Chelsea tonight. Sanchez, the first corner, completely messed it up,
Fumbled.
kind of whacked it, and then the second goal, again, same thing. If Raya was playing for Chelsea, those wouldn't go in, but that's a different story.
That's
Anyway,
right. And I think just quickly, um, Kepa's great for our cup games, but let's win a trophy. We need to be starting Raya. I don't care if Kepa's our cup keeper, unfortunately. Arteta needs to win a trophy and build momentum. This is the place to do it. The Carabao Cup right now. We're in the second leg of the semi-finals going up after a win. Let's stick Raya in for the second leg and for the finals. Let's win that piece of silverware and move on to staying at the top of the Premier League as well. Personally, I don't I think Kepa's a great keeper, but even that first goal, close your legs. Do you know what I mean?
yeah,
Straight through his legs.
yeah.
Um, for me, I would be starting Raya.
No,
Just
I think I do agree with you. I think we need to go stronger. Like all credit to Kepa, he's done so well to keep us here, but I think Raya
agreed.
does need to step in now because I think he's just a lot more composed. I think the build up from the back as well is better when Raya's playing. So yeah, I definitely want to see Raya come in. Just on the Carabao Cup as well, you were saying about building momentum. I think the Carabao Cup kind of gets disrespected a bit. People call it a Mickey Mouse trophy. I've said that before on this podcast, but I completely think that's ridiculous. You got to win every single game. A trophy is a trophy at the end of the day. Yes, Champions League, Premier League, even the FA Cup is more prestigious and more important, I guess you could say. But as an Arsenal fan, we're not entitled to say what trophies we can pick and choose. We haven't won a trophy in like 6 years, so we take any trophy we can get. And the reason why the Carabao Cup is so important for us and so unique as well is because it's the first trophy that you can win in the football season. I think the final is around early March, late February as well. So if you win that, going to the last 2 months of the season, it gives you so much momentum to push on and keep going. We've got the depth to do it as well. There's no problem at all. I know we started our strongest team today. There's no excuse to not win this cup, isn't there?
I agree. And yeah, again, it's just a momentum thing. We win the Carabao Cup. Who's to say we don't win the FA Cup? Who's to say we don't win the Premier League? It's just a snowball effect from there. And I think we need to take it a bit more seriously. And it does get overlooked. It
Yep.
100% does get overlooked by many people. But yeah, I think that's going to be interesting to see the second leg against Chelsea, I believe, sometime in February. Correct me if I'm wrong, but February 7th, we play them
Yep.
at home as
Yep.
well. So why don't
Yep.
we bring it to them? So let's start Raya and bring
Yep.
our
But
full squad.
again, all credit to Kepa though, because I don't think he was actually that bad to be honest. I think, to be honest, if you look at the signing on paper, what was it? He was the most expensive goalkeeper. I think he still holds the record for that in the world when he went to Chelsea actually, 2018 I believe, and then Arsenal. He had a great season at Bournemouth last year, and then we pick him up for 5 million as a backup keeper. That's pretty good, right? He's
That's
played for Real Madrid,
that's pretty good.
played for Bournemouth, he's played for Chelsea, played for Athletic Bilbao. Like 5 mil for a backup is class. He probably is one of the better backups in the Premier League as well. So you take that every time. But yeah, you probably can play in our next FA Cup game because we're playing against Wigan Athletics. So there you go. There's more game time for him.
There
But
you go.
yeah, onto the Zubimendi goal. Obviously, it was 2-1 at that point, and then that, what did you think of that Zubimendi goal?
Just, I think he's the most underrated signing of the entire season. I don't think that there's any other team in the Premier League currently that has made a better signing than Zubimendi, and it gets overlooked. This guy adds so much value to our team. It's not even funny.
Yeah,
That fake shot and just quick step to the side. It's just clinical.
yeah,
This is clinical. It was a clinical goal. Um, no faults there. I think he was in his right space to shoot. Um, yeah, he's just such a good player. I want to see him start every game.
yeah, me
That's
too.
it.
Obviously, we still need to rotate, but I think the thing about Zubimendi, it's gonna sound like it's a little bit disrespectful, but you hear what I mean. But like in a weird way. he goes so unnoticed, but it's actually a good thing because it shows that like he's just seamlessly fit into the squad. Like sometimes when I try and think of
Absolutely.
signings that we made in the summer, it's like I sometimes Zubimendi's not even in my head because of just how he looks so natural in this team, doesn't he? Like replacing Thomas Partey, who was a good player as well. He just comes straight in and just fills in that spot and gives us so much value. And I think something he does better than Partey as well is those attacking runs. We never really saw that from Partey. And yeah, he offers Odegaard more freedom as well. But I think Odegaard had a bit of a quiet game. But that's the thing. Even if Odegaard has a quiet game, he steps up in those attacking moments, and it was just beautiful, wasn't it? It was who was it? Saka, sorry, received the ball on the right, Marino, and then little inside ball into Gyokeres,
Yeah.
laid it off to Zubimendi, and then I thought it was going to shoot, and then oh my god, like that fake shot. Have you seen it in slow mo from the behind angle?
I sure have. I
Yeah,
watched the game and then I watched the highlights straight after just to see that. It was incredible. Incredible goal. And great flick on by Gyokeres too.
yeah,
Another situation where he's received the ball and knows what to do with it in the box.
yeah,
Marked by so many men, quick flick off to Zubimendi and he scores.
yeah. That goal was
I,
just gone.
just incredible.
Yeah,
Just
that goal was
incredible.
just poetry, football poetry. Like, oh my, I can't get over that fake shot, man. Like, it's probably one of our best goals this season, and it kind of is. It's on his left foot as well. I think that's another underrated thing that people count out. He's right-footed on his left foot. It's class. And yeah, I agree with you about Gyökeres. Goal and an assist for him tonight. He actually won man of the match as well, which is so good to see because I think Gyökeres will definitely benefit from this from the goal and the assist and just all the teammates passing to him as well. I think that's what he needs. He needs confidence to keep going. That's
Confidence
what
player.
every striker needs, confidence. So today, if Yoka's goal, assist, man of the match, like what more can you actually ask for from him, right?
Not much, not much. But speaking on confidence players, where was Eze?
Yeah.
No Eze today. Um, would I have swapped him for Mikel Mourinho today? No, I don't think I would.
Yeah.
I don't think I would. I think Mourinho played a very good game. And speaking on Odegaard, it's one too many matches now where he's been too quiet. He's our captain. He is the captain of Arsenal Football Club, and he's not acting like it, unfortunately. Um, and I love him as a player, but maybe let's start an Eze. Let's start a Marino in that role.
Yeah.
Um, and bring on Odegaard as a sub because today I didn't see much from him. How about you?
Look, to give him the benefit of the doubt, I think I agree with you in the sense that it was one too many games for him. But I think he's been playing. He's been one of our best players over when he came back from injury. But today he looked a bit off, and I think it's because of maybe he's still recovering from that injury. Played too many games recently, but I think this could be a game where Eze can come in and give Odegaard a rest, and then bring on Odegaard later in the game. Odegaard is that sort of player, unfortunately. Like he will have some quiet games, but I think I think he's been very class since he's come back, to be honest. Obviously, he can always do more as a captain. He's not really a captain in the traditional sense of like, a Roy Keane or something like that. He's gonna like yell and be scary and that sort of thing. He's a bit of like a quiet leader, more of a chill leader, but he dictates the play. And I don't think we saw a lot of that today, unfortunately. But I still think obviously got the win in the end, so that's all that matters. But yeah, if we can rest him in a few games, I think that'll be beneficial. In the league, I definitely still want him to start because I think in the league, especially against teams that set up in a low block, like just defending for their life, which Forest will probably do. We'll get onto that later. I think Odegaard's very important for that sort of situation. But yeah, I would love to see Eze play some more. And it's unfortunate he didn't even get a sniff off the bench as well. But yeah, so we go 3-1 up, and then I'll let you talk about this second Garnacho goal, but it was disappointing, wasn't it? It came from a corner, Garnacho volley. Disappointing, right?
Very disappointing. Corners are our thing. Let's.
Yeah.
This is something we should have. If we can score corners, we should be able to defend corners. Is how I think of it. Um, and we're really good at scoring corners. That's something I do want to bring up. Is you know Arsenal get a lot of banter against our set pieces and our corners, but I believe that gives us that edge that has put
It
us at
does.
the top of the Premier League. They,
No,
that is why we are the top of the Premier League. That is why are the number one club in the UK currently.
in the world.
And in the world. Yeah, it's not ridiculous to say that,
It's not
especially if we
ridiculous to
win the
say that.
Champions League. If we win the Champions League this year, that is not a ridiculous statement. But I think just because we score a lot of corners doesn't make us a bad team.
No.
And people make out to say we're a bad team, but considering that perception that people have of us, why can't we defend them?
Yeah, no, exactly. I think corners for me, set pieces, are just an asset of the game. It's part of the game. We're very good at it. Why not score from it? And yeah, we've
That's all
proved.
it is.
Yeah, look, there was a period early in the season where we were relying on them, but we're still getting the job done. And I think the hard work pays off. We've had that. We've got. I think we hired a new long throw-in coach, which is very
I saw
that
that.
rattled a few fans as well. But I think yeah, corners are just so important. I feel like I've talked about them so much in this podcast, but like especially in big games, right at the start when you just get a goal straight away, like even if it's a scrappy bit of a shitty goal, like you just take it, because it's like you can build off that. And we saw that today with Zubimendi, beautiful outfield goal. Ben White, again, these are all open play goals that we're getting from that. So it's class, right? We can do both sets now. And I feel like it's kind of built up to this point of the season where we've got both. But yeah, on that goal, three Chelsea players unmarked. I forget who the other two were, but Garnacho was the one that scored. There was one Garnacho, one in front of Garnacho, and one behind, all unmarked at the back post. I do think that's a bit ridiculous, especially with the caliber of players that we have in defense: Saliba, Gabriel, Timber, Ben White, all those. So I think it was very disappointing to see that, wasn't it?
Absolutely, absolutely, and you said it perfectly. The caliber of our back line is incredible, and you know they're not taking it seriously towards later parts of the game. We have seen that a few times this season. Um, maybe we need to rotate. Maybe there
Yep.
needs to be a couple of rotations there. Um, not not that I could say who. Maybe a Norgard somewhere, or
Yep. Just to
you
show
know,
things up. Yeah.
that's right. Oh, I love Lewis Skelly, but he's had a few quiet
Recently, he
games
hasn't
as
been good.
well.
Yeah.
Not great.
I think that's
So
why Timber started actually because of Lewis Skelly.
I believe so, and I think especially in our back line, I know we have such great squad depth, but it's really being pushed at the moment with Nkapie being out and Calafiore still out. I think
Mosquera as
we're
well.
really
Yeah.
we're really stretched for numbers here in that defense. So something needs to change. Someone needs to come back. I know who I want back. I'd love to see the Italian back. Calafiore. Um, yeah, that's who I want back in the squad. But yeah, what? How do you think we could fix this lack of concentration?
Look, it's hard to say because I don't know if it's a coaching thing, if it's the players just switching off, but I think it is a bit of these players have played a lot of minutes recently, I think. I know Ben White was probably at the back post there, probably was the one that let Garnacho get in there. Forgive me if I'm wrong. I can't remember. Whenever it's one of those corners, I forget who is where. But I think
I believe it
you're
was.
exactly right with the injury stuff. I think if we can have a Calafiore to come on, a Mosquera to come on, just to switch things up, those players are going to be switched on because the players that are starting are switched on from minute zero, and then they have to try and do the whole game, which is tough, And I know they're professional players, but everyone makes mistakes. But I just think that's where again a Raya can come in. You need that voice at the back that's organizing the defense. You and me have both played goalkeeper in the past. We know how important that is to speak to your defense and organize them.
That's
It's
right.
very stressful, and I think that Raya is a bit sort of a leader from the back in this squad. So I think he can definitely contribute to that. So I do think with Calafiore, Hincapié, Mosquera all coming back, it'll improve from there. I think we just need fresh legs on really.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I'm looking forward to them coming back. I think we will see a shift. We will see a shift in not only just this solidity and the how do you put it? Just the structure of our
Yeah.
back line.
Yep.
But I also think Calafiore adds great attacking pressure as well.
Yep. 100%. No, you're completely right in
Like
saying
I
that.
really miss it. I really miss it. And a lot of tight games recently. A lot of
Yep.
tight games. So other than Aston Villa, they can get in the bin. But yeah, a lot of
No,
tight games.
I completely agree with you because we saw that today. The left side was a bit more quiet. Trossard has been one of our best attackers this season, or if not, probably our best attacker this season. But he didn't really get to do much because he doesn't have that support from Calafiori. Timber's great on that side defensively, but offensively, he doesn't provide as much as a Calafiori does. So Calafiori, I can't wait for him to come back. Completely agree with you there.
That's right. And
Just
with
before,
with Tro
gone.
sorry, with Trossard,
Yep,
I think Arteta could see that. He did get subbed off for
yep,
Martinelli, who I love to see in a cup game. That's where he
yep.
performs. But I think he did well. Not that he was on the score sheet, but yeah, good sub. But I agree with you. Trossard quieter since Calafiore's been out for sure.
Yeah. So 3-2 in the end. You take a one goal lead away from home, especially up against a great team like Chelsea. But in hindsight, we've got to talk about that Marino. There was a Marino volley that could have made it 4-1. In hindsight, looking back on it, it's a huge chance. It was actually a really good save from Robert Sanchez, credit to him. But Marino volley with his right foot, and then Sanchez save just tipped off his foot. That would have made it 4-1 if that went in. That would have completely killed off the tie, and we could relax a bit in the second leg. Maybe 3 goals up, maybe two, but now we're only 1 goal up. So yeah, it does suck, but at the end of the day, we won. You take the 1 goal lead in the second leg, don't you? Especially at home.
That's right. That's right. Absolutely. And speaking of close goals, it wasn't just Marino, but we saw that Saliba outside the box. I don't know if
Yeah,
you remember it.
no, I do. Yeah, that was class.
We're
It was weird to
just
see.
just over the bar, just
Yeah,
over the bar. I think he was encouraged to shoot, and I think as a centre back, and I've played in centre back previously, and I think you get overlooked, especially when you're given space outside of the box. Why not have a go? Why not?
exactly right. Like Saliba is more than capable of getting that in. It was very close. I would have loved to see that go in. It was very out of character for Saliba to do something like that, but you just love to see it, don't you? I love when just random players you don't
Absolutely.
expect take shots. So you can get that's the good thing about this Arsenal team as well. We get goals from anywhere, really, which is really good to see. But yeah, it was 3-2 in the end. Fortunately, it wasn't more, but thankfully we didn't draw like last time when we played Chelsea. So we take that every single day of the week, and then we'll play them next month, 7th of February. So we'll see how that goes until then. But yeah, just in the short term, we've got Nottingham Forest this weekend, Sunday. It's a 4:30 a.m. kickoff. Pretty rough, but yeah, Nottingham Forest have not been good, right? They just suck. I'm sorry.
Look, it's going to be, as you said before, park the bus kind of game, which is I always have something against it. If you're there to play football, you're there to play football.
Oh,
I think it's just it's shameful almost. You're giving up from kickoff, in my opinion. Um, but yeah, they're not great. They're not great.
yeah.
Um, it's like they haven't been great all season,
Yep.
especially coming off last season. Such a strong side. I don't believe I remember where they finished, but at
I
some
think it
point they were
was.
second
I
in the
think it was
Premier
about.
League.
I think they finished. They've got Europa League, but obviously with the whole Crystal Palace and Nottingham Forest thing, they've had to swap. So I think they finished about seventh, which for them is incredible. And look,
Incredible.
I agree with you about the parking the bus thing, but at the end of the day, like these teams that know they're probably not going to pick up a result against us are probably going to do that. But to give them the benefit of the doubt, though, Forest did do well against us last season. I think they either drew. Let me just quickly check that. But they have been a team that have caused us some problems in the past. So as much as I think they probably will sit in a sort of low block, you could see them maybe come out at the start of the game and just go for it. Yeah, we drew. Yeah, that was right. We drew 0-0 against them last season at their home ground, which was a poor result. I remember that we were in the blue kit, which I don't have good memories when we wore that kit. But yeah, I just think this season is completely different. I don't think they're as good as last season. Their key player, Vaughan Gibbs-White, quality player, but I just don't think they have enough. Their last 5 games, they lost to Wrexham on penalties. That's pretty crazy. EFL
I did
Cup.
see that.
They beat West Ham, but West Ham are even more shocking, to be honest, especially currently. Then they lost against Aston Villa, Everton, and Man City. Look, Aston Villa and Man City, you expect a loss. Maybe they can pick up a point against Everton, but even Everton are pretty decent this season as well. So, yeah, not on the best of form. Only one win in the last five, and that's against a team that's lower than them in the league. So I do expect a pretty comfortable win. We'll get into our score predictions later, but I want to ask you, what is your lineup going into this game? And let's just assume for now, because we're not 100% sure, that Calafiori and Hincapié aren't ready for this game.
Yeah, I don't think they are either. I haven't heard anything to say that they are. So, um, yeah, I'm starting Raya in goal, and I am starting Ben White and Timber. Interchangeable, I think, left and right. I actually don't mind them either side. So, we'll wait till that comes out. Obviously, Saliba and Gabriel, a lot of minutes, but I'm not gonna.
Do it.
Especially in the Premier League, we're not looking to drop points,
And we
especially
don't really
silly
have anyone
points.
else that can play centre back as well at the moment. The
Not
only real
really.
replacement is Norgard, and you don't really want to start Norgard in a game in the Premier League game.
Yeah.
Obviously, we can rest players against Inter Milan because Champions League are pretty much wrapped up that to go into the next round. So, yeah,
Yeah.
midfield.
Midfield. Now, I want to see Declan Rice play. However, I think for a game like this, let's start Eze.
Yep.
I really want to see Eze start, especially in the Premier League. Let's give him some confidence. Show him that he is worth. I want him to be worth 60 million.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
Because
I don't blame
so
you.
far, I'm a bit iffy with the signing, and especially his price point. I want Eze, I want Zubimendi, and Odegaard.
Yep.
And for our front three, Victor Gyokeres, I want to start him again. We're playing Ben White, as I said before. I think that's a great duo. On the right, Saka can start, and on the left, Trossard. Yeah, that would be my lineup.
Look, my lineup is very similar, but I think I actually like your shout though about Eze in the midfield. I think in a game like this, where the opposition isn't as quality, as a Chelsea or something like that. But yeah, obviously Raya, Ben White at right back, would love to see that. Gabriel Saliba, Timber at left back, Zubimendi. We can give. You could even bring Rice into the six and rest Zubimendi if you want. Zubimendi's played a lot of minutes. So you know what? Just to be different to you, I'll go Rice in the six, and I want to go Eze and Odegaard ahead of them. Trossard, Gyokeres, and Saka. I think that's the team I'd go for, and I think it's good enough to win the game.
I agree. I agree. But yeah, it's really interchangeable. I think that Rice and Zubimendi. I think one of them needs to rest.
There's just bigger
Or,
games, bigger fish to fry for
that's all
Declan
it
Rice, I
is.
think. Yeah.
That's all it
And I
is.
think we can always bring him on as well if it doesn't go too well. But yeah, I think with that team, with that quality, it should be enough to win the game. But score predictions, what do you reckon?
I'm gonna go for a 2-0.
Okay. Okay. We have a rule that we're not allowed to pick the same one. So I'm gonna go 3-0 Arsenal. I probably would have gone to 2-0, but I can't say it. So 3-0,
Fair.
3-0 Arsenal. But yeah, I think should win the game. Another 3 points on the board, and just kick on before the rest of the season. But yeah, I think that's all we got time for today. Thank you so much, Lockie, for replacing George on this episode. Did a great
It's been a
job. Some
pleasure.
beautiful ball knowledge on display. Thank you so much. And yeah, if you guys enjoyed this episode, like, subscribe, all that stuff. Follow all the socials, all that thing. But yeah, I'm on you Gooners. Let's go.
Come on, you Gooners.